Hey, what's poppin', YouTubers? East New York's finest host about Mike. What's going on? Now, this Sunday is just as good as last Sunday as far as toy pickups, but it probably doesn't look that much because a lot of stuff that I got last week was all packaged and it was all from Columbus. Today, I went to Morristown, New Jersey's Army Armory, which I actually was a participant last year. This year, I'm not. Um, Yesterday, I went to the Meadowlands. I sold. I don't even think I brought anything from the Meadowlands yesterday. And then today, my plan was to go to Columbus and see if I see the lady again and that guy. But with the weather being what it was, I wasn't too sure if they were going to show up because they're not normals there. Most normal people will show up for a couple of hours, but being that they're not regulars, I didn't want to chance it. And I called up somebody I know, and he said he didn't go neither. And then I remembered that today was the toy show that Wayne normally hosts, but they did it in the Morristown Armory in Morristown, New Jersey. Yeah. So like I said, last year I was set up. Well, I set up there, and I was set up. I was there to set up, or I set up my toys there. I did very well. This year, even if I had a lot of stuff even if I accumulated a lot of stuff, I don't think I would have done good. Today was basically a dead day. Last year Sunday was a bad day too, but I did good because of this one guy. Saturday I did well because of that same one guy and some other people. So it was a good Saturday, but the Saturday could have been better. But that Saturday the weather was horrible. But that Sunday it was the opposite of today. Basically, yesterday weather was hot, and today weather was shit. Um, some people were willing to will and deal. Some people just want to hold on to their stuff. I can't knock anybody because it depends on what you got into it. And some people they're like, hey, what doesn't sell today will sell tomorrow, and I get that because I'm the same way. Some people are like, fuck it, I want this stuff gone, and they just want shit to go. So I got some stuff. My boy Kenny, he sells down in Columbus. I got a couple things from him. He gave me the Columbus price. I'm not gonna say what I paid for his stuff, but then some other guys, I got a great steal for stuff for him and his partner. They both had the same booth, and I obviously, it's nowhere near the magnitude of stuff that I got last week because last week was crazy. It was so much shit. But if you think of but if you count the individual figures and items here, it's definitely more than last week. Last week just seems like it was more stuff because everything was boxed. So again, it's definitely more stuff than last week, or about the same. I paid about the same. I got some really good steals. So let's get into it. So this one kid, the same dudes I brought this stuff from, they did $5 across the board for these. They had a $5 and $10 bin, and I said, "Well, what can you do if I buy XYZ?" And I also got some other stuff from them too. I think I got these from him as well. That's how you gotta do it. Sometimes you gotta keep buying and buying. And this one dude, he was like, "Oh, the more you buy from me, the better." Da, da. But he kept backtracking his deals, and he was like a little shady and weird. So we didn't strike a deal. I tried to do a deal with him 3 times. I walked around the whole building at least 6 times. I see my boy Eddie. Eddie, the one I got most of my GI Joes from. He was there with his family and stuff. It was good to see him. I haven't seen him in months. Um, I think he said he did good yesterday. Today, I don't think nobody really did that well because I've seen people just. Again, it was like it was last year on Sunday. But Sunday last year was a better day than Saturday. But I still did good I did still good that Saturday of last year. But I think if the weather was like it was yesterday, I would have did great. I probably would have sold out. But anyway, I am very happy I didn't set up this year. I don't know how good yesterday was there, but I am glad that I didn't set up this year. I'm glad I didn't have anything to really set up. So I'm very, very happy. So this one guy, he had all this stuff, and he said, "Hey, buy all my 25th anniversary GI Joes for 300." He had a bin of them. This is the bin, and he only wanted 300 for everything. And he had the Cobra Hiss tank with extra stuff. And he wanted 4 for that. I'm pretty sure he piloted it 275 or 300. But I didn't want to buy that because who I'm going to sell all this stuff to, I don't know how he would feel about having, you know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to do it. And then he had a Dragonfly he wanted 300 for. He probably did 150 or 200 for that. Because he wanted 300 for this. And I was like, yo, listen, I would do 150. I explained to him why I would do 150. And he was happy to take the 150. So he took the $150. And I got all these. He said it's like 40 G.I. Joes. I didn't even count them. He said everything is in here, all the weapons and everything. So 40, well, he said let's count them. Why not, right? Let's see if I got ripped off or not. Either way, I still didn't get ripped off. Let's see, one. Let's see, we got one. Don't he like Wyatt Earp? Actually, you know what? This Tiger Force Wakanda would make a good fucking Wyatt Earp. Like if you want to make your own Wyatt Earp figure, you know, you cut the back of his hair, put a cowboy hat on him, put like a black Victorian suit, or what the hell they call those suits back then, on him, and you got yourself fucking Wyatt Earp. You got yourself Kurt Russell there. Or Doc Holliday. You may proceed, sir. So he's 1. We got Lady J, 2. Barbecue, Tree. Tiger Force Bazooka, 4. I think that's scrap iron, right? That'll be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So there's 39 figures, not 40. 39 figures here. I mean, if I do $10 a pop on them, that's $390. But being at complete, let's say 15 times 39. So that's pretty good. So I got this from him, and then his buddy, he had this one Groot from a Hot Toy group. He didn't have any he had 3 Hot Toys. He had no boxes for none of the Hot Toys. This Groot was 100. This Groot was from another movie, and he is 200. As you can see the price on it. So he had 100 on him and 200 on him. And then he also had, now remember, I had the 2 different Deadpools from Hot Toys I got from this guy named Ivan I know. And I was like, I'm going to get rid of them because my plan was to get the Deadpool and Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I'm not really a fan of Deadpool and Spider-Man like my kids are. But I am a huge Wolverine fan. And I like the movie so fucking much. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of my Deadpool and Deadpool 2 Deadpools, excuse me, plurals. And I'm going to get the Deadpool from the movie with Wolverine. And I'm going to get the Wolverine as well. So he had everything here but the boxes. He said he'd throw his boxes out. He didn't think of selling them. And I know a lot of people like that. A lot of people are box crushers. They don't keep boxes. They throw all that shit away. I don't knock anybody for what they do with their shit. Whether they gonna sell it in the future or not. It's their property. You do what the fuck you want to do with it. But this figure alone is worth 1.5 times more than what I paid for all of it. He only charged me $250 for Deadpool, fully complete without box, and both of the Groots, fully complete without the boxes. Now I'm pretty sure I could probably get all 3 boxes on eBay. I'm pretty sure I can get both of these boxes for probably like 40, $50. So yeah, pretty cool. So I paid $250 for that. So altogether, I gave these guys 400. I gave both of them $400 basically. 150 for this tub that he had for 3, and then again, so 150 and 250 is 400, and he gave me both Groots and that Deadpool Hot Toys Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine for $250. Yes, 200. He had this priced at 200 by itself. And he said, dude, I hear it all the time. And I said, yo, yeah. I said, and I told him, I said, for some reason, Hot Toys, like 1/6 scale figures, don't do good in New Jersey. And he said, you know what, dude, I'll probably have a couple of grand in my pocket if I had somebody who told me that from yesterday till today. And I was like, yeah, man, I believe me, I've had 1/6 scale stuff too. People, for some reason, New Jersey people don't deal with or know much about Hot Toys. I said, now if you were in Philly or New York, and he cut me off, he said, yeah, I heard Florida. I said, well, I don't know about Florida, but I can tell you, if you were in Philly or New York or North, you would have sold these. You'd have easily got 200 for this. And I told him, you damn sure probably would have got 170. He probably got 180 or 175 for him, and he probably would have got the $100 for him, even though they didn't have the boxes. But that's just because they're complete. And I told him that. But he's like, dude, I just want to get rid of them. If you want 250, I said sold. You'd be a fucking fool not to pay $250, whether they had the boxes or not, even if they weren't complete with everything. 2 Groots from 2 different Guardians of the Galaxy Hot Toy movie pieces, and a fucking Deadpool and Wolverine movie Deadpool for fucking $250. You'd be a fucking stupid idiot not to. I don't care if you had $310 on you and you had to get back home. You'd be a damn fool not to pay $200 for that stuff. And then again, $150 for over $400 worth of classified G.I. Joe figures. Yeah, I think the cheapest figures in here are like $10. I'm pretty sure that one Scarlet I picked up and a couple of figures in here are them. Everybody else in here, you probably get $20, $25 for them, or whatever. But still, no, a great deal. And and this also from him. He only had this priced at $10. He said this was a Marvel Legend that he customized. He painted and did all this stuff to it, and he only had it marked at 10. He told me to take it, but I gave him $5 for it. He told me for free. So to give somebody $5 extra for something is better than taking it. I don't take nothing from no grown ass man for free. That's just how I was raised, and that's how I raise and bring my kids up. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that came with that. So basically, I got 2 Hot Toy Groots, Deadpool and Wolverine Hot Toys Deadpool, along with this Marvel Legend, nice condition, whatever. These guys, $405. Now these other kids, the same ones I was just talking about, that he did all these because he had this stuff marked at $5 to $10. They were in a $5 to $10 bin, this was in a $5 bin, and then I guess later on they said all that stuff's $1. So I took everything he had left in the bin at $1. I don't know why people left this shit behind. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. At $5, $5 is good, but at $1, come on, a Star Wars droid. This guy's from Shang-Chi or whatever. You got the fat version of Thor. I don't remember this nigga's name. Then you got Miss Marvel. You got, she probably, you got these 2. Then you got these 3 here. You got this Bad Batch dude. You got this multiverse Wonder Woman or whatever the hell. Then you got these. You got Drax, I don't know her name, and then you got Miss Marvel. $1 each for these? Come on, man. So these were $1. These were $5. These I got from my boy Kenny. I'm not gonna disclose what I paid for them, but he hooked me up as he always does. And also, this was also from their $5 bin. Since I had these G.I. Joes, I was like, okay, so I took the Tiger Force Ram. And then these guys were also $5, so I took all these for $5 each. I thought it was a pretty decent deal, being that nobody else wanted to deal. I ain't gonna say nobody else wanted to deal, but everybody was complaining about money. But then they didn't, like everybody wanted to play hardball. I'm not playing hardball. I came there with I didn't even want to spend that much money, but I came there with a plan. My plan was to try to get stuff for around $5. If stuff was boxed for 20 or 25, to try to get it for 10. A lot of people didn't want to do it, and I don't blame them. I mean, I'm pretty sure I probably wouldn't have neither. But if you're bitching and moaning and you're standing there looking at each other, twiddling each other's thumbs and trying to make deals with each other, and somebody come along and it's like, hey, listen, that $10 and $5 shit adds up quick when you got 40 to 60 pieces. And then everybody's like, oh, so you want to do a deal? And I'm like, nah, people were cherry picking through the stuff. They took out stuff. Well, I'll do you a better deal. I said, nah, I already brought a lot of stuff. So one guy was like, man, you should, saying, then why you made an offer? I said, bro, you sold the shit and you were talking about, I told you 5, you talking about 7. And then you let people cherry pick the fucking stuff. And now you want me to come back and buy whatever nobody else want? Get the fuck out of here. I told him just like that and I walked away. So this I got at the front. This is the first time in a long time they actually made me pay to come in to the show. But whatever. So here, these are going for Isaiah. So here you got the leap year 67 Chevelle SS. I normally don't show these cars, but ain't much to show. Then you got this Mazda MX-5 Miata. Then you got the McLaren, or whatever the hell they call it. Then you got this Ford Mustang GTD. Then here we got 79 Chevy Nova. And last but not least, you got a Porsche 911 Turbo. And this is the stuff I'm keeping. So there's one dude out, this is why you always have to keep walking by. Because sometimes when there's a crowd, you don't see everything. And I told him, I said, yo, you probably would have did better today and yesterday if you had this stuff on tables. He should have had the turtle stuff underneath the table, and he should have had his G.I. Joes on top of the table. He did it the total opposite. That's why nobody was really going through this stuff. I only noticed it after my third time coming around. So he gave me a chair, and I was able to look through my books. And there's a lot of figures I picked up that I didn't think I had, and at least 32 figures. Thank God I looked through the book and I had them all. These are the only ones. I think there's like 1 or 2 of them here that I have, but I need the weapons. Like him. At $8.50, it just made more sense because I need the weapons to complete him. So, and this is a heavy duty, $8.50. Here's an Alpine. I believe this is the same. I think this Alpine, this Alpine I actually need. I already checked them off in my book. And then here you have this Gung Ho, which I need too. This one is the one without the mustache. And then you have this Sergeant Hacker, which, there's another one that's pale-faced. So you got some that's pale-faced and you have some that has a painted face. I need the painted face version. So these 3 I definitely know I need. Him I just need for weapons. This is a Cobra Officer. I couldn't find him in my book, but I was so tired. So I think he's a direct to consumer piece, along with the Night Viper. So he gave me a good deal on these 2 anyway. And then this one is the Cobra Claws. I couldn't fucking find him. I bet you as soon as I go upstairs and calm down, I'll fucking see this guy. But he gave me a good deal on all these. I only paid $70 for the 7 of them. He gave them all to me for $10 a pop, and that's not bad considering that both of these are over 20. So I was like, I appreciate that. So I think we settled on 65. Then a guy I know, the same guy last year that brought all my test shot shit on. He's the reason why I had a really good day Saturday, him and everybody else. And then he's the only real reason why I had a good Sunday. With some other stuff I brought in for him. He sold me this for $60. Everybody wants like 100 and better for this. And I always said, being that I have the Super 7 guys, I was like, yeah, I got to get that Tomax and Zaymont. So he had 2 of them, and he gave me this for a deal. So, yay to that. So that's everything I got today. So yeah, man, that's everything. So thanks for watching, and peace out, man. Stay safe, and hopefully you guys will do a lot better than my last week, because I'm going to tell you, last week was fucking horrible. Anyway, peace.